Mom is an amazing person and a phenomenal mom.
She's very loving.
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 Loving. Loving.
I would just simply describe Mom as a loving person.
Generous, kind, caring.
One of the most generous people there is. She's very, very caring. She always welcomes everyone into her house.
Caring.
Caring.
Warm-hearted.
Well, he's nice.
Very scatterbrained sometimes.
Thoughtful. Thoughtful.
Young at heart.
She's a very happy person.
She's a walking, talking support system. She's fantastic.
So kind, absolutely real. What you see is what you get, no pretenses.
You know, she would do anything for someone who needed something.
She puts her family first. She will drop whatever she's doing to always be there for her family.
Creative. I think of her knitting and her other crafts she's done and the way she decorates everywhere.
She's very beautiful on the inside and out. She could be an old lady, part-time model.
She loves to laugh.
I love to laugh. Loud and long and clear.
Passionate. Passionate.
Maternal.
You're very generous.
She's funny.
Funny. Funny. Fun. Fun.
She'll pull out her wine glass and do the white wine and the ice cubes, and you know it's going to be a good time.
Mom's got a great sense of humor. She may not get every joke, but she'll sure laugh along with everybody.
She's just a great and fun person to be around. I know it's always going to be a good time.
She is the best Grammy I ever had.
Bon vivant. That's someone who lives well and best lives well.
Mom believes in the good in everybody.
I like her because she lets us go to places a lot. Well, like sometimes museums and stuff.
I would say warm, probably everybody has said that.
Best is warm, wise.
Capable. Generous.
Mom loves to go out with people, to socialize with people. She likes to have people over. She likes to go places.
She's very easy to talk to.
Idiosyncratic.
A very curious person, and you're very inquisitive, and I think that's what's kept you so young. And I love being with you because you carry that energy with you.
She just always has the right words to say, words of encouragement, words of just helping you through a situation.
A really great storyteller. That's like one of my favorite things about her.
She loves to laugh at herself. She loves to have fun. She loves to party.
She's genuinely interested in what people have to say.
And she's good.
She's got a big, big, big heart.
She is a caring person. She's got a heart as big as this town. Everybody knows that, a heart of gold.
Sagacious.
She's a little bit all over the map.
A little silly and crazy.
You're always up to something and telling us about a new thing that you've done.
And
Mom makes friends everywhere she goes.
You've been extremely open-hearted.
if she has games, I like to play them with her. If she has cooking stuff that we can cook with, I like to do that with her.
Reliable isn't the right word, but that confidant that is always there for you, that trustworthiness maybe is a better word than reliable, that is a constant, and I've always appreciated that.
I like everything about her.
always there for all of us. She was the big sister that we looked up to.
I always thought Bess, as the oldest sister, was the icebreaker. She was the one who took all the hits up front, and she was the one who came up against Grandma and Grandpa's oppressive reign of terror and loosened the way for the rest of us to kind of come up against her. She took the hard hits, and she was the icebreaker. We could all kind of follow in her wake, and it made life progressively easier for John and myself and Marianne. And then the younger two, I forget their names, they got away with everything. Everything.
So lucky to have you as my oldest sibling. Describing you as my oldest sibling, you were always the one really having a lot of fun. Busy going hither and yon, out with your girlfriends, and here and there you're going out on dates.
Bess was very maternal, very loving and compassionate. She loved taking us three little girls places, and we always felt really special when she did that.
I always think of her because she is the oldest sister, 5.5 years older than me. And Susan, 5.5 years younger than me, so I always felt like I was the middle, even though I'm not actually the middle of 6.
She was a joy as a baby. We lived in an apartment in New York City, and my mother's antique shop was within walking distance. And my mother said, "You can feed that baby here as well as in that apartment." So I would walk over with the carriage, walk over, go to my mother's shop, and feed the baby, and then spend the afternoon there. And she was just a joy. She was just a joy to have. And she was a good baby. I've been blessed. I have 6 wonderful children.
She was also the big sister from whom I pilfered my first Tareyton cigarettes from her bedroom. When she got her first apartment in Queens, she included us in a sleepover there.
You just had certainly in the eyes of me, a very glamorous life that was great. That I always wanted to enjoy and have a lot of laughs and stuff, just like you were always doing.
I have a lot of happy memories of her always including us in special things. When she had a job at Gimbel's, her first big job, every time Bess got a raise, she would get a little gift for Mom. When she got her first car, we all know these stories, and the seller told her the price was negotiable, and she seriously asked, "Is that up or down?" When we moved to the house in Ridgewood, she still got to go to our old school, St. Catherine's, and I always remember thinking, Mom and Dad see her as so mature.
My favorite moments of rebellion from Bess are kind of hard to remember because, number one, I was shielded from a lot of that.
Bess didn't rebel in an overt kind of way. Bess just kind of quietly did what she wanted to do.
Not a lot was shared with me. I couldn't handle it being so fragile.
She never made a big deal about it, and I think that's why she got away with it, because she just kind of did it.
I just had to go along with it. So, mothers don't have any choice in that matter.
That's very true.
There was never any kind of moment of rebellion that I ever saw. It was just kind of Bess kind of quietly getting her way. She's so good at that.
More of her rebellion was about smoking and realizing that college wasn't really for her.
Maybe moments of rebellion from Bess, I think there was something about riding on the back of a Volkswagen.
She was riding on the back of a car and fell and must have knocked her head. And I remember her telling us afterwards, the dad said, "Oh gee, I never thought I'd have to tell you not to ride on the back of cars when you got to college."
Bess did so much for us when we were little. She made this A-frame bookshelf for Eileen and I, and it was a Christmas present that she surprised us with one year.
And they just, when they saw it and they realized she had made it for them, how they ran to her and embraced her so lovingly, and you could see the joy and pride on her face that she brought joy to their lives. It was a moment that really captured what a great big sister she always was.
This will come as a surprise, but her room was messy.
You know, it looked like a typical teenage room. There might be 1 or 2 of those in this house as well.
I could take you into Kelly's room and show you a picture of that.
Yeah, I know she got her act together eventually.
Bess's room growing up. Gosh, poor Dad. He just, Bess and Dad never could see eye to eye on that.
Terrible. Terrible. I used to close the door.
There was clothes all over the place. There were albums strewn all over the place. There was dishes. I think at one point we had to go up and ask her to bring all the dishes down because we were eating on napkins at one point. And so she would bring the dishes down once a year. It was a nice event. It was Dish Down Day. We always look forward to that because we could eat regularly for the next month.
Let's not even go there because we love Bess and who cares?
You know, Bess was just busy and singing Broadway songs and Barbra Streisand.
There was always music in Bess's life. I can remember that old album from the Broadway show, Mr. President. I don't even know if I could ever get that soundtrack, but I think of that often as my first realization, that and Barbra Streisand's music with Bess and her love for music. She was always singing, there was always music on. We did our 12 Days of Christmas dance. So there was always a lot of fun and laughter and all those things.
Who did Bess get along with the most growing up? She was closest with John.
I think John.
I was her first friend from the get-go, and we've been like this ever since.
Bess got along with everyone in the family all the time.
Bess seemed to me to get along with everybody. I mean, I think that we all had our tussles and arguments and whining patches here and there with each other.
I don't think there was anybody that got along the least, or the best for that matter, but I always felt a very direct connection to Bess and wanted to be with her all the time. I mean, I think almost she was like another mother to me. I remember wanting to be with her all the time and doing things with her all the time. Probably even climbed into her bed an awful lot of nights when I was maybe having bad dreams or worried about something, and luckily she was A-okay with that. Now I'm getting upset. I want to start over.
You know, she and John had this thing that they're the oldest and everyone's younger than them, and they were always saying how they had things nice and good until Joe came along, you know, as if. Who did she get along with the least? Susan.
Bess's friends were, you know, crazy and silly, just like she was.
The kind of crowd that Bess hung out in was all these girls, especially her high school friends. They were so much fun. They just laughed till they cried.
Her crowd I would call very vanilla, very nice people. She's still friends with today, her high school friends, her lifelong friends, Mary Beth,
Janet, Sharon,
Patty, Shader, and
Barbara Ann was there also. I feel like I'm leaving out Regina Ivory.
Mac, of course.
Mary Beth Schwitter was probably the most entertaining.
Great, great friends. When I think about all of Bess's friends, they're still near and dear to all of us, and we love them. They were all just silly and fun like her, and I love hearing the old stories over and over again.
The high school kids she hung out with, though, were just a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, even though they did cross that New York State line to go get a beverage or two.
They had a wonderful time, and I loved having them come to the house.